House in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is Poker Night in America. Hello and welcome to Poker Night in America. I'm Chris Hansen alongside, or shall I say ringside, with Joe Stapleton. And tonight, Joe, we resume coverage of King of the Hill 3.
That's right, my babies. 4 poker bosses put up $50,000 and staked their claim upon the metaphorical hill. Earlier on Poker Night, we watched 2017 main event winner Scott Blumstein get bounced early by Brandon Adams. Following that matchup, defending champ Olivier Bousquet came up short in a frustrating match against Dan Colman.
So now our 2 finalists, what do we know about them?
Dan Colman won the 2014 Big One for one drop and has over $28 million in live tournament earnings, and who knows how much more online. Brandon Adams is a New Orleans-born whiz kid who graduated Harvard at 19 and has been involved in poker ever since, often playing in the highest stakes cash games with the best of the best.
Well, both seem to have adequate credentials in this field. I think we're in for a great bout.
Protect your hands at all times. Let's have a clean, angle-free fight, touch card protectors, and wait for the tournament director.
Well, here we go. The belt is on the table. Somebody ring the bell. How do we have a belt on the table when there's no bell to get started? Right? Ding, ding.
Aren't we in Pennsylvania? There's a big bell right outside.
That's true. Well, here we go. The first hand sees Brandon Adams raise with King-9 suited, and Dan Colman wearing sunglasses today. Different look than we've seen from Dan. He makes the call.
He's very cool.
And Colman starts out this best of 3 with flopping a set of 6s.
Adams bets 4,000.
Raise to 12,000.
Never too early to build a pot with a set.
Pretty quick raise up to 12,000.
Good start.
Nice. Even though he didn't get any action there, I like the raise with 6s.
Lines are starting here at 500 and 1,000. Each player starting with 100,000 in chips. Dan Colman on the button and is raising with King-10 to 2,500.
Brandon Adams loving the lavender, dude. Not just some of those chips.
And this flop is 3 hearts, queen high.
And he's got a pair of 10s. There's check, check.
Another queen on the turn.
Adams does have a 9 high flush draw and a gut shot. I'm not sure if Dan's ever going to be able to fold a 10 once that second queen peels off. Total brick on the river.
Colman wants to do if he wants more out of this pot or if he's just going to be happy. And let's say he's going to be happy with the $14,000.
Dan, I hate to do this, but can we go no sunglasses? It doesn't even feel like a match.
It really kills me with this light, honestly.
It's the light?
The light,
like a pupil dilation issue?
Yeah, it's just really sensitive to light. Yeah, so kind of sinuses and also my eye.
Okay.
If you want, though.
Photosensitivity is the thing, Chris.
Wow. Well, I had thought it was rather odd. I've never seen Dan Colman wear sunglasses at the table before, I don't think. So I wasn't the only one, I guess, who was picking up on that. It was kind of weird.
Well, he took him off. Get off his back.
Okay, fine. Plus, if we keep pestering him about it, he'll come over here and beat us both bloody pulps.
I mean, I'm not sure he would. He could. King high flop. 2 spades. Up and down draw for Adams. Is that it? Did he get there? No.
Colman still ahead with his pair of 6s. They're checking through the turn and now to the river. And look at that, Adams gets there.
Such a nice feeling.
Straight.
Straight?
And he's gonna get paid, an even nicer feeling.
Now I can't help but wonder if Dan Colman bought those sunglasses especially for today. I hope he didn't have an endorsement deal he's missing out on.
No, probably not.
I would have countered with, well, why don't you take your glasses off and see how you like it?
Oh yeah, that's true, it's
Right?
unfair.
Yeah. Anyway, this is what we are debating here in our first of 3 possible matches that could happen between these two. It's a winner take all.
That was us trying to be controversial for ratings. Did it work? Adams raises it up with deuces. Colman calls. 6 tray of clubs.
Flop is 10-3 jack. Colman outflops him.
So annoying. You have deuces and he hits a 3 and a 6. I do not think this bet of 9,000 will get a call. And it doesn't. All right, 1 for 1. In fact, I'm probably just going to quit now.
Dan Colman applying early pressure here, and it's working for him.
The gloves are off, and so are the sunglasses. Things could escalate.
We'll be right back.
Play rake-free daily fantasy sports at fantasydraft.com or download the app from your app store. Use code PNIA and your first week is free.
Welcome back to Sugar House in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Dan Colman has a small lead early on here versus Brandon Adams. More King of the Hill now. $200,000. It's winner take all. This is the first game of 3 to decide who is the newest King of the Hill on Poker Night in America.
Again, Colman raising, ace-5 of spades.
$10.
Okay, back to the poker. We got a big $20,000 raised pot. Adams with ace-jack, Colman with ace-5 suited. They both whiffle of the flop.
Which does have Colman dominated and makes a pretty big continuation bet here. And that gets the job done.
Up to 3,000 with Adams' is ace-9. Colman called, king-7.
Check.
Adams still got the best hand with ace-9.
Fold.
Ace-high good. Ace-high good. Players still just about even in this match. Wow, look at this guy drinking water. What a nerd. Nerd alert. Only drinks the most precious substance on the planet. The very lifeblood of our beings.
Yeah, there we go, coffee.
Yeah, coffee, yeah.
That's a real drink.
9-5 versus ace-9, another domination situation.
9-6-4 is the flop.
Check.
Both players flop a 9. Danger, Will Robinson. It's still weird to me that there was a robot in Swiss Family Robinson.
4,000 the bet from Adams.
$13.
Have some of this.
Dan knows he can get value on a draw-heavy board like this, maybe even from another 9.
Still, you're playing heads up and you have top pair. Most of the time, you are loving that position.
Yeah, absolutely. But the same thing for him. There are still a lot of draws out there, so there's plenty of reason for him to think his hand is good. Dan knows he can get value on a draw-heavy board like this, maybe even from another 9.
Well, he commits an extra $9,000 and now $32,000 in the pot as we go to the turn. See if Adams can pick up any help.
8 on the turn is not exactly the best card for Colman, especially when you raise and you get called. That 8 is going to improve plenty of hands.
It looks like Dan is going to continue to keep the pressure on. And here comes 18,000.
I think if you're Brandon, you got to call here one more time and see if you can improve now that you've got a draw as well.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe a call here, you get him to blink on the river, and you can scoop up a pot with just a pair of 9s.
You know, Brandon Adams went to Harvard.
We did.
Yeah. That's what I like best about him, is that he went to Harvard, but you don't already know it.
Valid point.
Yeah. You know, I realized calling here is probably a terrible option, even though I just recommended it. This is probably why I lose lots of money playing poker. There's always a third option that I forget about, because what happens is you call here, and then you miss, and then you don't know what to do, and then you call and you're wrong, or you fold and you're wrong. There's a third option.
Come on.
Oh. What do you think of that option?
See, I always forget about that one. Woo! What a move. Dan Colman in a spot.
Pretty good hands. Pretty good hands.
This is our first game in the best of 3. Each player starting with 100,000 in chips for this heads-up match. So much beverage going on. Look at that. And here comes one of the reveal cards. Each of those players has 2 of those reveal cards that they can use whenever they want.
Wow.
Colman gets to see it.
And what I really liked there was that Brandon was staring him down just to get his reaction. I want to judge, you know, his pain tolerance there. What was his reaction?
Well, Coleman's the one who didn't know what Adams had, but it's Adams who looked surprised. That's just how he looks all the time.
Limp in from Adams. Option over to Dan Colman. He says there shall be no limping.
Hey, Brandon Adams, where's Gomez and Mortiz? Oh, hold on, there's gonna raise.
And this flop is 3-3-4.
Dan Coleman's got ace-5. He can start semi-bluffing immediately. So Brandon Adams is going for the backdoor semi-bluff. He's betting on 2 future cards.
And a call. So now this pot over 34,000.
Here we go to the turn. Not a mucho. Colman checks, and I think another barrel from Adams to get Colman to fold. Oh, check, check.
River's a 10, so Colman has the best of it with just an ace.
Checks. Adams, I think, does not pull the trigger. Really nothing to bluff at there. You know, you raise that flop, and none of the flop draws come in. The spades do, but it's a little tough to rep anything there. Eventually, Adams gives it up to Colman. Those last 2 hands were a bit higher variance than we'd expect typically from Brandon Adams. He got away with one and pumped the brakes on another.
Perhaps it was the coffee, or the rush of coffee and adrenaline.
Or maybe it was the sudden need to end the hand and go to the bathroom, which, by the way, you, the viewer, can do now because we'll be right back.
How would you like to play against the pros on national TV? Download now to play and win. It's absolutely free to play. Welcome back to Poker Night in America. We present the King of the Hill 3 here at Sugar House in Philadelphia.
In the neighborhood known as Fishtown, the birthplace of President All About the Benjamins Franklin.
$200,000. That is what goes to the winner here tonight. It's winner take all. This is the first game of 3 to decide who is the newest King of the Hill on Poker Night in America. And blinds are up to 600 and 1,200. This match kind of going back and forth. Dan Colman started out the first couple of hands taking an early lead, and now Brandon Adams has battled back, and now he has the lead.
Dan Colman defeated his mentor and reigning champ in this event, Olivier Bousquet, to get here. Brandon Adams beat some nobody.
Yeah, some guy who won some tournament, I don't know.
Oh my God, it was Scott Blumstein. I'm so sorry.
That's so awkward.
5-5.
Top pair here for Colman. Adams is betting his king high.
Six on the turn.
Puts the 4 cards straight out there now. Looks like Brandon wants to bet at it.
Fold.
Dan Colman versus Brandon Adams looks like a kid who's playing against the guy that's trying to date his mom. I don't understand why we can't be friends. I'm a cool guy. Adams is pulled out in front. 119,000 plays 81,000. Ace King of Spades for Colman.
Makes it 3,600. And Brandon Adams deciding on what his next move is going to be.
Cooler alert. Colman cooler alert.
13-2.
The very best in keeping your drinks cold and having a cooler heads up. It's Daniel Colman, coolers.
All in.
Oh boy. Are we about to coin flip for the game right here?
Call.
We are.
Like Colman versus Igloo, one of these two hands has a slight mathematical advantage.
All right, let's see how this plays out. Here comes our flop. Flop is 7, 3, 9. 6 is safe so far.
Looking real good after that flop.
And the turn is an ace.
Real bad after that turn.
And a 3 comes on the river, and Dan Colman doubles up.
Not only doubles up, but leaves Brandon Adams with fewer chips than he started with.
And about 38,000 in chips is all he's going to have left. Everything going Brandon Adams' way, and then one coin flip, you lose it, and now I'm down to nothing. Blinds are still rather friendly, 6 and 1,200. So with 37,000 in chips, it's not dire, but it's getting there.
Ace King for Adams. It's a good opportunity to get some chips back.
Jack deuce for Colman. And flops 4, deuce 10.
That is an unfortunate flop for Ace King.
Check, check. The turn, another deuce.
That is an unfortunate turn for Ace King.
5,000 to bet from Dan Colman.
The sick part is that Ace King would often be the best hand.
There's a call.
Unfortunate river for Ace King.
Oh boy. Now 2 pair on the board.
It's a board where Ace High is going to be good a lot.
For sure.
Yet another Colman cooler. This one a mini cooler,
Like a smaller
like
one.
an ice pack.
Yeah.
All in.
Dan Colman was all in, hoping to get a call from an ace high, hoping to get a call from some kind of pair from a 4, something 3s through 9s. This seems like a fine spot for a fold. In the words of Scotty Witt, if he calls, I need a cigarette. No, it's all over, baby.
Call.
Have a deuce.
This is good.
GG.
Yeah, that'll be the last page of this game. And number 1 of 3 goes to Dan Colman.
You're not my real dad, and you never will be.
Joe, that is how quickly things can escalate in the game of poker.
Exactly. Any one of those hands could have been played for much smaller pots, but sometimes there's only one speed that seems right in the moment.
All right, take a breather, Brandon. You've got another game coming up. More when we return to King of the Hill 3.
Play rake-free daily fantasy sports at fantasydraft.com or download the app from your app store. Use code PNIA and your first week is free.
Welcome back to Poker Night in America presents King of the Hill 3. Game 1 in the best of 3 has been claimed by Dan Colman after Brandon Adams opted for some higher variance spots.
But let me remind you all, for the 10th time, this ain't no one and done affair. It's a best of 3 winner take all.
Can Brandon Adams fight his way back to force a Game 3?
Is there any way Dan Colman can be stopped?
Did I forget to close the garage door this morning?
All this and more next time on Poker Night in America.
For Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Hansen, and from everyone here at Poker Night in America, thanks for watching.
Dan, I hate to do this, but can we go no sunglasses? It doesn't even feel like a match.
It really kills me with this light, honestly.
The light?
The light,
like a pupil dilation issue?
Yeah, it's just really sensitive to light. Yeah, so kind of sinuses and also my eye.
Okay.
If you want, though.
I mean, if you can try it, it doesn't even feel like heads up if we're playing with sunglasses.
All right.